Okay, what's up, guys? This is Don Numb, and this is my first wrestling video on YouTube. I'm gonna try to do more and more of those. I'm gonna try and do more of wrestling and MMA videos. Um, this is a response to Mitch's TNA rant, or the Wrestling Gurus TNA's rant, and seriously, you know, I have a lot of points to talk about right here, and it's really frustrating to see what's happening to Tina. I agree with Jared, and I heard that Brian Alvarez from the Wrestling Observer Radio once said he said after a TNA sacrifice, he says, "I don't want to do the rise and fall of TNA." He wrote the book The Rise and Fall of WCW. It was a big hit. It's still one of the best wrestling books, but he says, "I don't want to do a TNA Rise and Fall book because if they keep doing this shit for 1 or 2 years, it's done for them." And the thing that bothers me, the thing that blows my mind is that they're they have all the potential of being this great company. They have all the wrestlers. They have they have everything, but they just don't deliver. And I'm gonna talk about some certain subjects that you talked about, and I'm gonna talk about certain subjects that are from my point of view. The talent. Now, like you said, I don't think I know that the WWE has a great roster. Also, TNA has a great roster, but TNA's rosters, the wrestler on TNA, in my opinion, some of them are better than the WWE guys. A guy like AJ Styles. I know that some people may compare John Morrison to AJ Styles because they don't see a lot of Styles, and they think Styles is just this guy who does wacky flips and stuff. No, AJ Styles is a great wrestler. He's a technical wrestler. He's a powerhouse if you want him to be. He's agile as hell. And Styles is awesome. Okay, they have guys like Christopher Daniels. In the WWE, they have CM Punk and Bryan Danielson are the same as Styles. They come from the same school, and but they're both not being used well. Not CM Punk in WWE, not Bryan Danielson in WWE, and certainly not Christopher Daniels throughout the history of TNA. This guy, he didn't have a lot of credit. They didn't treat him well in TNA, so he had a lot of problems with them. You have a guy like Kazarian. You have guys like Beer Mike, Rude and Storm. You had the AMW, Storm and Chris Harris. You had the LAX. You had Homicide and Hernandez. You had Jeff Hardy in his prime. You had Abyss. You had Sting. You had Kurt Angle. All those guys in 2004 to 2006, maybe till 2008, they have been main eventing and doing this crazy stuff. Christian, Rhino, Ron Killings, or as we call him today, our Truth. They had a lot of amazing talents, and they produced a lot of amazing shows. So it's not just about the talent. They had a lot of good shows in throughout 2005, 6, 7, and of course I forgot Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe had the second best undefeated streak in history. I think that he didn't go like Goldberg did, but in my opinion, his streak was better than Goldberg's because he produced some good ass matches. Samoa Joe, for a guy his size, you see Samoa Joe and you say, what the fuck is this fat guy is gonna do to me? And you step into the ring with Joe, and you hear the crowd chanting, "Joe's gonna kill you," and you don't believe that this guy's gonna kill me, but when this guy gets unleashed, he's pretty scary. Samoa is agile, he's fast, he's a powerhouse, and he's a submission machine. So Joe is frightening, but they fucked up Joe, just like they fucked up Styles, and I'm gonna talk about this. in this podcast. Um, about Vince Russo, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, 3D, Steiner, Flair, Hogan, Bischoff, a lot of names. They didn't do anything to the company. Maybe Hogan, he could have added a little bit of publicity. They could have used him the right way, but they fucked up Hogan. Nobody wants to see a Hollywood Hulk Hogan again. Nobody wants to see a heel Eric Bischoff. Make Bischoff a great general manager. You don't have to bring in Mick Foley, you know, to make him a network executive. It doesn't make any sense. And Ric Flair, I don't know. Just make him a manager. That's Ric Flair. That's Flair's role. He was there for Triple H and Evolution, and he was awesome. Just put him with a guy like maybe you have a guy like he lacks charisma, but he's awesome. Put Flair with him. Flair is an amazing manager, heel manager. We talk about the ratings. They're so obsessed with the ratings and the buys. They compare themselves to the WWE. The WWE is a huge company. Their revenue is unbelievable. You cannot match the WWE. The UFC can match the WWE, yeah. The UFC can go to Canada and put on a show in Toronto in front of 55,000. TNA, if they went to Canada, and they went there a couple of times, I think, and no more than 12 or 13,000 showed up because they don't have the money to put on bigger shows. So why compare yourself to the WWE? You can't get out of the impact zone. The impact zone is dead. The crowd is dead. They don't care about what they see. They just come. You know why they don't care? Because they used to watch some great, awesome wrestling back in the day, and they're not gonna like what you give them right now. It's a no-brainer. They're fans. They know what's happening. They're not sheeps. So if I was a fan, and if I was on Orlando, I'm not going to TNA. At least not on a weekly basis. I can go, once every 6 months, but I'm not gonna go every week. It's crazy. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve my money. And their pay-per-view shows, they don't deserve my money as well. That if I were in the United States, which I'm not. Um, the second thing was Sting. Why is Sting champion? The only reason for Sting being a champion is he screwed Vince. When Sting screwed Vince, you know, say what you want to say about the promos before WrestleMania for The Undertaker. Everyone thought it was Sting. Everyone knew it was Sting. Sting himself, maybe he had a little agreement with the WWE, but he screwed them. So they changed the plan to Taker versus Triple H. It maybe it's not maybe the same situation, but it's like this. So when they brought Sting back, they gave him the champion as a thank you gift. But they need to pass out the torch. Sting needs to pass the torch to AJ Styles or Samoa Joe, the two believable names in the company. Nobody's gonna believe that Sting is gonna give the title to Anderson or Van Dam because no heat is gonna be on them. The TNA originals, the fans, the TNA addicts, they don't want to see Sting pass out the torch to Mr. Anderson. They don't want to see Sting pass out the torch to Matt Hardy or even to RVD. They don't want to see those guys. They want to see Samoa Joe again. They want to see AJ Styles again. They want to see Robert Roode. They want to see Christopher Daniels. But Daniels is 40 years old. Can you believe that Christopher Daniels is 40 years old? So if you pass the torch for him, it's only going to be 2 years that then he's going to pass the torch to someone else. So that's a big problem. And they tried to do this on Bound for Glory in 2009, I think, where AJ had a match with Sting, and I would think that Angle was in this match. No, it wasn't Angle. There was I don't remember. Just let me check. They passed the torch and they made Styles pin Sting, and then Sting gave Styles his champion, and then everyone thought that AJ is gonna be the face of TNA, but they turned Styles heel, which is the most stupidest mistake you ever make. You don't make a guy like AJ Styles heel. Nobody's gonna leave it. No, it wasn't a triple threat match. It was one-on-one between AJ Styles and Sting. Styles defeated Sting, and Sting just passed the torch to Styles, and everybody went nuts when Styles won, and they believe that it's Styles' time, but they fuck up Styles. They make him a heel. They make him wear those stupid suits, and it's not in Styles' blood to be a heel. Styles was made to be a babyface, a damn great babyface. You know, he does all those crazy jumps, crazy dives, moves. He's not a heel. He's a babyface. But you know, it's their problem. They don't know how to manage their talent. Another problem, you know, they have is they fucked up the X division. The X division was used to be the essence of TNA, but they fucked that up. The tag team division, it used to be awesome in TNA. You had the AMW. Say whatever you want to say about Storm and Harris in 2011, but Storm and Harris back in the day were and will still, in my mind, and many other TNA fans' eyes, they'll be the best tag team that ever stepped foot in TNA. Maybe Beer Money and Motor City Machine Guns, you know, you think, but in my opinion, you know, nobody used to be better than the AMW. Chris Harris was fucking amazing. He had great physique. He was doing a lot of moves. He was agile. He was tall and he had a lot of muscles, but he was agile. But look at him 4 years or 5 years later. You know, we saw him at Sacrifice. It was this fat off that she couldn't do anything. And as much as I hate it because I loved Harris back in the day, but now, sorry Chris, you don't deserve my respect anymore. The X division, you know, they had an amazing X division. You know, they had Saban, Xarian, Styles, Daniels, the Indian, what's his name? I forgot. Sanjay Dutt, and they had Jay Lethal, Consequences, Consequences Creed. So they had a lot of names, and they produced kick-ass matches. But what's next for them? Nothing. You see Robbie E, a two-time X Division champion. What's that all about? Just because you know he's from the Jersey Shore? Fuck it. It's stupid. So they're screwing their talent. They're screwing their scenarios. They're screwing the script. They're screwing everybody. They're screwing their company by not giving Styles and Joe. Joe does not care anymore. He gives a shit about TNA. Look at Joe's weight. He's fat as hell. He does not give shit about them. And I don't blame him because back in the day, Joe was the man. Joe was the number one guy. But where's Joe now? He wasn't on the card on Sacrifice. They're pushing Crimson over Joe. Okay, Crimson is a good wrestler, but you don't get to give Crimson a streak. What did Crimson do to deserve a streak of his own? When Joe arrived, he was a big star in ROH. He proved himself to everybody. Crimson did not. Crimson only Jarrett likes Crimson so much. Now we're gonna have Jarrett as like Triple H and TNA. We don't need another Triple H in the wrestling business. I'm running out of time right now. I've said everything. I hope that TNA gets back on their feet again because I really had interest in that company. And if they go down, nobody's gonna face up the WWE. If they go down, the WWE is gonna continue their same shit because there's no competition. So I only have 20 seconds left in this thing. Just subscribe and I promise you guys I'll try to do more and more of these videos. Post your comments and see you later.